Hello and welcome. I went off of social media for 2 years from the fall of 2023 until the fall of 2025, and I learned a lot being off of social media. I'm going to share what I learned, but also now that I've been back on social media, I already want to get off. I'm also going to walk through why that is. First and foremost, hi, my name is Rachel. I am the founder and owner of New Harmony. This is a place for parents who want to make a difference in their children's life and in America. And they believe in the Constitution and they believe in the founding fathers' belief for this country and know that it's not going to change unless we as parents make a difference in our home, because that's where it begins. It begins in our home. So we are doing things that we can to make our families and our posterities great. So we will make the sacrifice so they can have a better future. And if that's something that you're into or that you believe in, then hit the subscribe button because there's more videos coming. Before I went off of social media, I was doing fashion styling and I was consulting a lot of clients. I was working on this program and I was ready to launch it. I actually had a few people signed up for the launch. And things were going great on social media in those terms. But then my family in 2023, we went through one of the hardest trials of our lives. Because of that, I had to reprioritize so much in my life. I started shifting gears and went off of social media a lot more. With this trial, so many other changes happened. We ended up moving. We didn't tell any family where we lived, our address, or anything like that. Just one day I woke up and I'm like, I'm tired of pushing so hard on social media. It wasn't my priority when I was trying to just stay afloat in the things that truly mattered. At the time, I had 3 sons and then my husband and me, and it didn't matter to me. Not to mention, I was on this health journey because of, with my last son, I had a C-section and it brought up all this health issues. Like, I wasn't in a place to bless other people's lives until I straightened out my own life. I deleted it, and would you know, the biggest weight just lifted off my shoulders. I realized that subconsciously I was carrying so much weight that I wasn't as present in my children's life because I felt like I have to be on social media instead of present with my children. And since deleting it, I was just like able to fully be present with my children. Here are the 5 biggest things that changed in my life since I went off of social media. Number 1, I was happy. I was actually happy. I never realized how unhappy I was in life. I had so much burdens, I had so much stress, I had so many other things pressing that I wasn't able to truly feel joy. And I didn't realize how much social media was taking away my joy. Number 2, my health significantly got better. Instead of just doing the checklist and trying to get the checklist done, I was actually trying to learn how to connect back with my body, and I was trying to understand like what is actually going on with sourdough. Instead of just blindly following a recipe, I was actually like taking the time to understand the fermentation process, and I wasn't feeling stressed, and I actually had time to pour into myself and to my health and my family's health and be more present in life. So I think my health was a big one. Number 3, I learned so many skills. Crocheting, sewing. I made my own shampoo bars and my own sews, my own cleaners supplies. I learned lots of cooking skills and baking skills, and the list just goes on. Oh, painting. I got into painting and drawing, and I mean, the creativity just won't stop. And I'm still on that urge. And for 2 years, I felt like all I did was just learn new hobbies, create. And that was the biggest blessing, I think, because producing over consuming has opened so many doors and possibilities for me that consuming never does. So that is probably my favorite one. I mean, happiness, health, all of these are great, but it just feels so good to create and produce. Number 4, I gained a lot of clarity. clarity on what matters in life, but also clarity of what's important to me and where I want my focus to actually be. It's interesting when you go 2 years without knowing the different trends and the different celebrities or influencers. It allows you to stop hearing the masses and what they say you should like, and you really start to gain clarity of what you like. At least for me, that's what happened. And I started to realize, oh, I like this style of things, or I dislike this. And that clarity just was very grounding because I knew it was coming from a place of my interests and the things that bring me joy, not because of pressures or because of subconsciously, like that's all I see. And so it's curated. That wasn't it. I actually gained clarity of what I truly like. Number 5 is a positive and also kind of a negative. This is part 5 of the positive and part 1 of the negative. My relationships improved, which is the positive. My relationships also unimproved with people. And so with my husband and with my children, it definitely improved. But it also, I felt very lonely. People of the world who are into social, or not into social media, but who have been consumed by social media, I didn't realize how detached I was going to get and how I just couldn't connect with people on a same level. Like I was just in a different place of life, and I just didn't understand certain behaviors. I didn't understand why they cared about something so much when I just felt like it didn't matter. And still to this day, I have felt that distance. I'm still waiting to find more of like-minded people, and I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm doing New Harmony, is because I want to find like-minded parents who actually care about things that truly matter. It has allowed a lot of loneliness, but with my husband and with my children, those relationships have strengthened, and I honestly believe that my relationships with the right people will become super strong. Not superficial, super strong. I don't know for sure yet because I have yet to find those friendships, but I think I will. So I'm hopeful, and I'm going to count that as a positive, that hope that I will find really good connections. But it also, with the negative, it's been a little lonely, and I've been disassociated with a lot of people and experiences because it doesn't matter to me anymore. The second thing I would say is I can't unknow what I know. Being off of social media, I have learned so much about what I care about, what truly matters in life. I have gained such clarity and perspective, and I can't unknow that now. So everything feels a little less enjoyable that maybe used to feel enjoyable. And granted, I was kind of already getting this way on social media because of my health journey. I wasn't eating foods the same way, and I wasn't eating the junk food, or all of those things, like the Oreos. I used to be obsessed with Oreos. If you know from my childhood. But my point is so I was kind of already on that projectile where it's after I've learned the ingredients and I've learned different things about our country and our nation, and I've understood what the prophet and the apostles have spoken and said and the signs of the times, I can't unknow that now. And so my choices will forever be rooted in different things, instead of just doing things carelessly or because it's fun or because what the heck, it's Friday night. I don't live that way anymore because of what I know, and it does change the dynamic of life a little bit. I have a different purpose, a different drive that is more rooted in purpose, and I think there's so much fulfillment in that. But at the same time, it has changed my life forever. Eating an Oreo just doesn't taste the same, for example. So that's the best way I can explain it. So those would be the two biggest things I felt getting off of social media, and everything I have learned and gained clarity with. But again, I don't know if I can really say social media being off of social media caused both of these, because I think it could just be my life with my connections in life. Like, I'm not finding those connections yet. And then also I was already on that journey where Oreos weren't tasting the same while I was on social media. So I don't know if it's directly related, but that's just what I've noticed for the last 2 years, my biggest negatives. Before I share why I want to get off of social media, I am going to share some tips if you are wanting to get off of social media of how you can fill your time that really worked for me. The number one thing that I did that set the tone for the day was I found playlists on YouTube. Playlists like The Hobbit, whimsical playlist, or like a fairy core, Celtic music. Oh, just like so many different classical, like piano and like violin and music without words. Just like movie theme songs and just orchestras, all of these things with like different vibes. And so I would like type in the vibe I want. Like if it was springtime, that was like the time that I did like fairy music and maybe even Hobbit core stuff. I would also do that in the fall, like more Hobbit core stuff, or I would do like a winter wonderland type theme. I would just like put on music playlists to just have on my, like in the house while I'm doing the chores, while I'm doing homeschool, while I'm doing baking bread or making dinner, romanticizing my life in a way that was life-giving, not taking. Another tip would definitely be learn hobbies. Get into crochet. One thing that I love about crocheting is you can just watch YouTube videos and copy what you're seeing, and you get to make something that you actually like are proud of at the end and that you can use. Once you get into the rhythm, it's kind of like you're just doing it without thinking about it. The third thing I love about crocheting is about how it's not using electricity like sewing. Sewing I love too, but like we're in the middle of an ice storm right now in Texas, and luckily we haven't had our power go out, but a lot of people it has. And I feel like in the end, like crocheting is something that you could do without power. You can take it camping. It's just so versatile, and I really love that aspect. So maybe I'll do a video strictly about crocheting because I clearly have a lot of opinions. My point is hobbies. Let's get back to that. Spend your time actually producing instead of consuming. So don't substitute social media for Pinterest or for YouTube. Like, I'm not saying you can't be on those things, but I'm just like, subscribe here. But I'm just saying, like, if you're just going to substitute with more scrolling, it's not going to be as fulfilling being off of social media as it will be if you actually produce over consume. My last tip, which is something that I would tell myself, actively try to make connections with other people. Join homeschool groups, get yourself out there. If I did it again, I would encourage myself and everyone else to actually build connections off of social media. Now, I've been back on social media for a few months now, and I already want to get off. And here's why. Everything is fake. Nothing matters. Okay, it's not that dramatic, but seriously, that's how I feel. Now, I went off of social media when AI was starting to just like, boom, take off and peak. So I think that has a big part of it, like because I left right before that big exponential growth, and then coming back on to seeing AI everywhere, but also just like there is no true connection on social media either. Like you can start a connection, but you have to develop it outside of social media. It's not what it used to be. And I see that. The way I tell it to my husband is I feel like I'm watering rocks going back on social media. I went back on social media because of after the Charlie Kirk's assassination. I just felt this like gut pull where it was just I don't know, just this like spiritual shift happened. And I think a lot of people felt it. And I just felt like I needed to use my voice for good. But getting back on social media, I'm just like, I'm watering rocks. Like, this isn't where I'm going to find the people that it's going to resonate with. Like, what I have to say, it's not going to resonate. It's just, I'm watering rocks. And I'm like, I would much rather water flowers that I can actually enjoy and like reap from my efforts. But when you water rocks, like, you're not going to reap anything from that. And that's why I want to get off of social media. But I'm also trying to be a little smart with it too, because I want connection and I want to still use my voice for good. I want to help influence the direction of this world and help cultivate not only good connections for my life, but cultivate a good world for my children. I don't have a lack of hope. Like, I truly believe that this world, there is so much beauty and so much good and so much potential, and social media is just depressing. It doesn't show you the potential. I think you have to understand the problems, you have to acknowledge it. So like, I do acknowledge problems, but I also like, there's this other part of me that outweighs the problems, with which is hope. Like, I have so much hope for this future, for the future of our country. Like, I know it's beautiful, and I've seen it. I've seen the beautiful life with my family being off of social media. Like, it's not as depressing as it seems when you're on social media. So yeah, I want to get off. But I want to get off and have a group of community that we can support each other and actually make a difference, because that's what matters. Social media doesn't matter, but people do, and connection does, and the hope for the future and this country and the rising generation, our posterity, that matters. It does. So if you're feeling that way too, if you feel like this need to just like make a difference for good in this world, you're not alone. You're not alone. I feel it too. Let's get together. Like, let's create a community where we can actually make a difference. I have a lot of things in the works that I'm doing locally at the moment, and I will hopefully start to expand that. But my first meeting was supposed to be on Monday, but I had to move it to Thursday, and today is Tuesday. So it was supposed to be yesterday. I'm not doing it until Thursday because of the ice storm. Hopefully that meeting goes well. And hopefully a lot of good things can happen. So stay tuned, because there's other things I'm going to be doing on YouTube that has to do with this in-person group. So exciting stuff. But let me know your thoughts. Let's get a discussion going, and yeah, have a beautiful life or day. I don't want to say life because that makes it sound like we're not friends and I'm never going to speak to you again. And I hope we actually build something beautiful, a good community. So